The day you embrace your African spirituality, your roots, is the day you find who you are, where do you come from, and what is your strength.
Dynamic biblical discussions with special guests exploring tough biblical issues, academic scholarship, ethics, archaeology, textual criticism, Old Testament, New Testament, Bible interpretation, apocalyptic literature, Christian history, ancient Near East cultures. You're tuned in to Conversations with Pastor Cliff on Puluso Ministries.
Good day, everybody. Welcome back to another episode on Conversations with Pastor Cliff. And today we are having a wonderful guest, and her name is Gogo Biyase. And she's going to be telling us about African spirituality, tradition, and culture. As you know, that Puluso Ministries is a ministry that embraces multiple perspectives. So we tend to invite other guests from different faith traditions to actually learn from them and how they, perceive God and how they perceive reality in general. So Gogo, welcome to Puluso Ministries.
Hello, Dumelang, Togoza. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Gogo, I know you and I are going to have a wonderful conversation on African spirituality, culture, and tradition. So maybe before we jump right into it, I would like you to, introduce yourself to our audience. Just give them a bit of background as to who you are and what has gotten you involved in what you are doing and what has kept you going to this day.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Pastor. My name is Gogo Biyase, which is my ancestral name. And then biological name is Zonke Biyase. I got the gift very, very early, in around 5 years old, when I started having premonitions. And then somewhere around when I was a teenager, when the premonitions were getting much stronger and the dreams also were occurring, then I received a dream from a lady in the afterlife that had told me that I have a gift. But they told me that at the time I was a teenager. So they mentioned that I was still young. I still needed to mature and learn some new things that I was not aware of. Then Wakamba was Kati. I fell sick, very, very sick, early in university, I think around first years. Then I started my journey. Then I was shown Ipehlo initiation, where I was going to practice in Twase, Nizeng Putul. Thereafter, after a couple of years later, I tossa in Mozambique, Eswazini, which is between the border of Eswazini and Mozambique as well. What has kept me going is moral ethics. I was taught very well by my ancestors to be kind to people, to never take advantage of people, to understand the value of the gift, that it's not a career, it's something that you are given, blessed with, in order for you to help others who cannot help themselves. So therefore, it's kubalulekile ukuthi you must not take people's problems as an advantage to use it against them or to use it for your own benefit, to charge abantu imali. Sometimes you find abantu poor who don't have resources, who come to you because they've been sent by ancestors to get help. So that has kept me going, in order to understand that money is not the priority, but it is the gift that you use in order to heal others, which is the priority.
Okay, that's very interesting, Gogo. When I hear about your background, I mean, you've been to Mozambique where you were initiated at Twaseni, but now, which brings something quite important to me as I'm listening to you, dive into your background, is to, us as Abantu Abamnyama, as African people, I would like to get an extensive, view of actually who we are as a people and how connected are we as a people, because you went and Twasa in our neighboring countries.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would like to understand how connected we are as a people, and and who we are in a sense.
Okay. Thanks, Pastor. It's a very fundamental question because it connects to all answers in terms of spiritual African spirituality. How are we connected? We are connected from the different tribes that are within our lineages. Man, lineage, I'm talking about a family tree. Would it before you there was amaZulu, amaTsonga. Before amaTsonga, there was amaTswana or amaPedi. I'll make an example with me. I'm a child of uMandlovu, uMamutlung, who is Msut, and the father who is Biyase, who is Ipak. Before them, they came from Mozambique. They came from Swatini. Before that, there is a blood relation of a Portuguese, a white woman who was Portuguese. Before that, there is a blood mix of us coming from Sierra Leone. So, with the terms of how we are connected, so you cannot say that our lineages from back your forefathers to manje siqhamuka endaweni eyodwa. Is it Soweto when it's Soweto or wherever? Cha. Before us, remember, they used to live, go around the villages. They used to marry, kids were born. So before that, kanjalo kanjalo. So that's how we are connected. We are a combination of different tribes that have action that are in our DNA. Kuze kube qhamuka uCliff Sikowe or Cliff Marshall. So you cannot say ukuthi uqhamuka from one bloodline or one tribal bloodline. That is not true. Before you, kade kwenzakalani because your forefathers maybe had come from West Africa.
Okay. I get that, Gogo, and what you are saying, Guguti, we are actually interconnected. And what I'm
Yes.
sensing, Guguti, the African spirituality or how the worldview tends to discourage xenophobia, as we would find in
Yes, absolutely.
or tribalism, which many of our people would practice, based on different challenges that about
Yes.
so in the modern society. But now,
Yes.
maskuluma about African spirituality, a lot of terms pop up like Twasa, Idlozi, and so forth. So, mhlambe, can you start off by telling us what is Idlozi? Maybe let's start off
Okay.
there for the benefit of our audience.
Okay, thank you very much, mkhulu. Idlozi, masikhuluma ngedlozi, sikhuluma about abantu bakini, people of your bloodline who carry your blood from the mother side and your father's side. So these people, they come from different lineages. Idlozi akuyena uMashawu oshone izolo. But before that, there's hundreds and hundreds of omkhulu nogogo abakhona esibongweni sakho. Those people are idlozi lakho. So it's people of your own bloodline who come from different tribes all the way from ekuqaleni. Makuthiwa umqali ishayamthetho zesibongo. Those are the founders of isibongo, going down to this current generation. So idlozi uthola ukuthi ama-spirits noma ngizothi umoya, ispirit esixhumene nawe, esi-related ngokwegazi. So therefore bakuzwa ngokwegazi, now bezwa ngokwegazi, nixhumene, you are connected by blood.
Okay, and I hear you say something important. You're making a distinction between idlozi and a spirit. So which one is it? Is it a spirit or is it idlozi? Is idlozi spirit or is it spirit idlozi? Maybe just not, for the benefit of our audience, so that they can understand to make a distinction.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we talk of idlozi, Pastor, we are talking of abantu who are spirits but who are related to you.
Okay.
When we talk of spirits, we're talking of a spirit that is lingering around. until it is identified
So
in
could that
its
spirit be
form.
umuntu? I'm sorry to interrupt. Could that spirit be umuntu ongahlobene naye? Is that what you're saying? So from what I'm
Yes, it's
deducing is that
something that it's something that is lingering around the spirit. Umoya ohambayo nje. Until it is identified ukuthi umoya onjani, what kind of a spirit? Is it a good spirit? Is it a bad spirit? So, but
okay.
spirit is just umoya who's lingering around. Kanti uma sithi idlozi, we directly identify with your family. Abantu
Okay.
bakini. So therefore they are blood related.
Okay. So now how would I make a distinction ukuthi lo owakiti and lo mhlambe umuntu engahlobene naye? How do I make that distinction?
Obviously, if it's either when you dream, mabu pupa. Usually in the dream, let's say you are seeing spirits of nomanti, you're dreaming of a person on a mass that you've never seen before. And when you ask your abantu basekhaya, they tell you, we don't know such. But within the dream, there is a connection that even though I don't know the face, but the face feels, or the spirit feels familiar kumina ngaphakathi, as if abantu basekhaya but bengabazi, but abantu basekhaya. Whereas spirit, as it is just a spirit, siyeza, it's a good spirit. And you want something, you're dreaming of something, you get sort of, you understand that you feel the goodness of it, but awukwazi uku-identify or feel it as spirit as related nami. But if it's a bad spirit, also at the same time you would quickly pick up no, this is a bad thing, because I'm feeling my body senses are sensing this, which means this thing is not right. But there you cannot identify it with umuntu again. Kanti even if umuntu again, you will always feel it. Even though I don't know the face, I don't know these people, but I somehow, in my soul recognizes these people.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense, Gogo. So in essence, lento ishoyo is that we can have and spirits that are good and also spirits that are bad, which are not necessarily related to us by blood, and we also have spirits that are related to us ekazi, which are you call the amadlos, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, that's
Correct.
interesting. I'm actually learning a lot as you say this and expound on how to make these distinctions.
Mm.
But now, I also want to ask you, when we talk about African spirituality, we find that there are terms that come up, like Uktanda as a prayer from maybe someone who is inclined in a Christian background, and you have terms like meditation that will come up, and you also have times. Prayer and knockdowns. I think I once heard you mention that in the past.
Yes.
So, are you able to make mhlambe ukuhlukanisa between the prayer and meditation and how it also works?
Okay. Before just something that a clarity that I want to make it past. Ngicela ukuthi I want to reiterate kubantu ukuthi siyakhonza nathi uNkulunkulu siyamazi. Without uNkulunkulu nathi we cannot perform ama-duties esiwaperformayo, siphiwe. So siyathandaza, siyaphahla, siyadonsa nje, kodwa umnikazi we-gift uNkulunkulu uqobo lwakhe. Ngicela ukwenza i-clarity lapho ibe clear ukuthi umnikazi wayo uNkulunkulu Somandla ovela emazulwini.
Okay,
Asikwazi ukuyenza
maybe on that,
phansi.
Gogo, just to interrupt you, you mentioned something important, which I'd also like you to touch on, upahla. So if you make mhlambe the distinction between the three, upahla, prayer, and meditation, as you put it, yeah.
Okay. Ukuphahla uma uphahla usukhuluma nabantu bakini. So ubabiza ngebongo mina Biyase khathini ndumndum insizwa yamayela siquze singadli insela samuntu ubiza abantu bakini with a hope that whatever message that you want to pass across or whatever conversation that you want to have uzoyidlulisa ubatshela ukuthi I want A, B and C batabadala ngicela ukudlulisa ukubonga ngokuthi ngiye kwi-interview and ngahamba kahle everything seems well so mawuphahla usukhuluma nabantu bakini ubizi amadlozi akini ukhuluma nayo with an intention of passing a certain message that you might sometimes unokwenza ukuthi you passing a message of gratitude or you passing a message or a request with a hope that you'll get a response either by dream or by ukudonsa. Then bese ngiza kukudonsa. Ukudonsa is the same thing as meditation, Pastor. In English try meditate but thina sikubiza ngokudonsa. Ukudonsa is where you will empty our thoughts. We move from iflesh siyaphuma emzimbeni wazonke but ingena emzimbeni kagogo usiquzi the spiritual being with the intention of either I'm posing a question to abantu abadala and the higher power so that they can actually ngizothola a response of that particular thing that says yes, this decision is correct. You can proceed. So if you empty your thoughts, now don't uzokwenzela ukuthi uzwe kahle. Ngoba as a person if ungaphumi in your normal body ube ku spiritual body, your body will tell you I'm tired of sitting down or I'm tired of this. You'll be aware of such. And if you empty your thoughts, uphume ungene in your spiritual being, whatever message also we told is completely spiritual. So it's very important because you need to be disciplined. You need to be a very dedicated person ube umuntu who is experienced with switching from the body to the spiritual being. So that uzokwazi ukuthi when you switch, you transfer to the other side. You are emptied, your thoughts are emptied. You can't always go on phone my color when you have switched because you are completely focused. So all these three things, bese ngizekhulekeni. Uma sikhuleka sithandaza uNkulunkulu. Sisuke sithi uNkulunkulu sicela uNkulunkulu ukuthi asize. Noma sibonga kuyena with the hope ukuthi that prayer uNkulunkulu will use different channels, his own channels aziwa uyena to actually answer leyo prayer. So it could be that prayer will be answered in a form of a revelation, in a dream. That prayer will be answered in the form of somebody else dreams of something and they inform you, or some other way of so all these three things are actually sisters who work hand in hand. You can't do one without the other.
Okay.
Awukwazi ukuphahla kodwa umnikazi, the creator of the gift, ungayi-invite. It cannot be because before uqale kwi-creator of the gift then bese uyaphahla because laba bantu abaphahlelayo they get wisdom from the creator of the gift, which is uNkulunkulu.
Okay. No, it makes sense, Gogo. You mentioned something in your answer, Uti. You switch so and go come go Gogo. I presume by saying that ukhuluma Gogo who's gifted you to do the work that you are doing. Am I correct in my analysis?
Yes, but it actually it differs, Lapo Pastor. Mangabu switcher. I will talk about others. It the answer comes in the form of an instinct, like a voice, an inner voice. Others, it comes in a form of a very, very, very strong thinking, which is not like thinking. You could hear a voice in your head. Then
Mhm.
others, such as us, my daughter, I plug into a conversation. I could literally hear umuntu osuke ekhuluma nami engiphendula ukuthi this is this kuzokwenzeka kanje enza kanje enza kanje in my ears. So that comes with different impande eyihlukahlukene osuke uyidlile, which allow ukuthi i-gift yakho ithi expand to its level. So iya ngama levels abantu ukuthi how do they respond, i-response ibanjani. So others you find ukuthi bababona abantu abadala behleli eminye nje kabhafi kangene akhuluma into ayikhulumayo ayiphuma. Omunye they wait till they sleep, then they have the dream and then they get the answer.
Okay.
So it could be, yes, it not necessary all the time. It's Ugogo who is giving you a gift. Remember, within the family, the Gogo schools that you gave me a gift, it doesn't mean I'll always communicate with her. No. There are other family members. There are grandfathers. There are people who are older than her, who have much higher authority than her. So just because I was given by her, it doesn't mean I will always communicate to her. You communicate with different people within the family.
Okay. What you are saying, Gogo, it actually makes a lot of sense. In this way, you know, many of us come from different backgrounds, as I mentioned, and people may not understand why certain things are done. But I wanna maybe understand. You know, there's this thing called umsamo, which I've heard about, and I just want to understand what is umsamo. You know, in your understanding, based on how you've been practicing, what is your understanding of umsamo?
Hey, Pastor Cliff, that's a very important question because we are where we are now because of le umbuzo obuzwa ekuthiwa umsamo. Umsamo i-identity yakho. It is who you are. Umsamo, Pastor Cliff, it like your ancestors. Father side, from all the different surnames that you could be related to, that you as a person you are related to. Where uhlukaniseka kabili. Emsamo kukhona isilili samadoda bese kuba khona isilili sabantu besifazane. So we sit in different things. Sihlala ngokuhlukana. Lila uma sishisa impepho noma siphahla sikhuluma sithi wena Biyase, wena Siquzo singadli insela zamuntu, sibiza labo bantu who are sitting where they sitting, because umsamo indawo where issues of the family are being governed, they are being heavily discussed. So the time ukhuluma emsamo kunabantu abakulalele who immediately they start discussing lete esuke ikhulunywe wena, it's either uyacela noma uyabonga ukuthi izokwenzeka kanjani, i-strategy first isebenzise kanjani, how should we prevent ama-dangers ukuze ezokwazi to achieve what they want to achieve. So umsamo, that is why uma ungazange ulunge, impilo yomuntu is just baseless ayindawo, because umsamo is the basis of umuntu omnyama, an African person, not even in South African person, an African person. Ngoba that's where you go ukhuluma to connect no khokho bakho.
Okay.
That's where
so
issues are being discussed. Issues of our family matters. Whether ucela umsebenzi, it doesn't mean we worship them. We don't. I want to distinguish. I say should say about worship benza uNkulunkulu. No, they are not. God is your bigger because it is a way tina African people esikhonza ngakhona esenza ngakhona ngoba uNkulunkulu wasinika lento le ama ancestors ukuthi sikwazi ukumazi yena ukuthi usebenza kanjani, usondela kanjani kuthini. So akawona uNkulunkulu bethu. I just want to make that clear.
Okay. So what I'm hearing, Gogo, you are saying ukuthi umsamo is basically my roots, is who I am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So mhlambe, I know it's unfortunate that our time is running out. Mhlambe, before I let you go as a last question, I want you to, to help us with, what is the importance yokuthi thina abantu abamnyama to embrace our culture, our traditions, ngoba siphila in a modern society today where things are, seem like mawenza is seen to you look like you are backward. So what is the importance of us, embracing our, African spirituality, culture, and traditions?
Okay. So the importance of embracing your African, your Ubuntu back spirit of Ubuntu, your Africanness, if I may call it. It is because that's where your power is. The day you embrace your African spirituality, your roots, is the day you find who you are, where do you come from, and what is your strength. So awukwazi you can't find strength. Noma seek strength emntwini who don't know who they are or where they come from. That's why you see abanye other nations, amaJuda, ama-Muslims, culture has been passed on from generations to generations. They are deep rooted in their traditions. So you find us struggling, siyahlupheka, ngoba we have issues of things not working out because of surname issues, because of our ancestors asibanga, because of diverted away from our culture. To divert it away from cultures. You get these new things. This is the I'll make an example, Pastor Cliff. So there are kids ezikhalela usiko, but zihluphe ngama-drugs. But do you see that ama-drugs are just Western thing? Kodwa uthola ukuthi the root of all this behavior, zikhalela usiko, zidinga usiko oluthile ofana malwenziwe emsamo. So the day we embrace who we are, we find our power, we find our healing.
Okay. Coco, I know this conversation, we actually need a part 2 on this to expound on a whole lot of information. So I think for today, we're going to leave it here because that's all the time that we have. Mhlampe, before I let you go, kukhona mhlampe an online presence on now where our audience can look at your stuff to actually learn a bit more than what you explained today.
Okay. I a page, a fan page called Isikuze Singadli Insela Zamuntu, where I try to educate people on issues like basic issues like umhlonyane, amangane amantombazane, abantu sibafundisa ukuthi yini umhlonyane, what is the importance of umhlonyane. Uma ushisa impepho ushisa nhloboni yempepho, how do you burn impepho uma ukhuluma nabantu abadala emsamo. So we teach all those different kind of things, basic things, so that we try to help ngoba sizama ukusiza abantu to understand this thing, this path ngoba you find that a lot of families or a lot of people were born in backgrounds where culture was not being practiced. So as much as they are keen or they want to do it because they can see problems, God, that they don't know where to start. So we try to educate such things so that we ease a burden on their shoulders. So the page is called Schools Esingadli Insela Zamuntu. I also take calls from WhatsApp, which is 083-275-3581, where I just explain my dreams and trying to help you to understand it. If you have a certain dream, most directly, I'm trying to explain what does it mean, because sometimes you find that umuntu will dream and they'll just take a literal meaning, the obvious meaning, whereas there's a deeper meaning of the dream. It's a revelation of something that they were praying for, or beyifastela or beyiphahlela. So we try to educate abantu to ulauma issues, because people are lost, people have no knowledge, and people they don't know what to do. So zamuksiza on those aspects. Abanye, you find that they grew up in a modernized family. They are so away from culture. So here's the problem now: the parents are gone, abazali bashonile, umntana usele yedwa emhlabeni, struggling, akayazi lento le. So manje we need to take baby steps in trying to teach kancane kancane ukuthi this is what you need to do, this is how it's done, in a way that you can relate nabantu, because abantu bafundile manje. So you try to accommodate that that civilization mixed with a culture, so that you can be able to relate with different people who come from different classes.
Okay. No, thank you so much, Gogo. We certainly have enjoyed having you on Puluso Ministry on Conversation with Pastor Cliff, and I certainly hope it's not the last time. We'll definitely invite you again for another session. For today, I hope the audience at home have enjoyed this conversation, and until next time, siyabonga Gogo, thokoza.
Thokoza ndzawuwe mkhulu, ndzawuwe, siyabonga koPhuluso, siyabonga koMashudu, ndzawuwe.
Thokoza.
Puluso Ministries is a non-profit educational enterprise founded in 2019. The ministry is informed by academic scholarship. At Puluso, we embrace multiple perspectives in our engagement with Scripture. We seek to provide non-Christians and Christians from all backgrounds and denominations with resources that provide an honest intellectual engagement with the Bible. We embrace multiple perspectives in fostering a more open, moderate society into the 21st century and beyond.
To ensure that we keep bringing you tough conversations like these, please support our ministry by donating as little as 50 Rand per month. You can find our banking details on our website, pulusoministries.co.za.